We are live from Wrigley Field, another hot one today as the Cubs go for the three-game series sweep. They're playing very good baseball, winning 11 of their last 15. The Cubs host the Diamondbacks, and it's the Hyundai leadoff man on WGN Sports. And hi again, everyone. We hope your Sunday's going well. I'm Len Casper. Welcome to the leadoff man. The Cubs have outscored the Diamondbacks 12-2 so far in this series. 8-1 the final on Friday, and another win yesterday. Let's get into the highlights of Game 2. Some fans here at Wrigley getting into the Halloween mood just a little bit early this summer. Ryan Dempster has been so good on the mound, and believe it or not, this was his first sack bunt of the season. As he would move a runner into scoring position, Reed Johnson would follow that up with a bunt single. Cubs in business. Starlin Castro hustling down the line, stays out of the 4-6-3 double play. That allows Luis Valbuena to score, and the Cubs grab the early lead. Fourth inning now. On a wild one, Soriano advances to second. And then Darwin Barney with a double into the left field corner. Soriano in. 2-0 Cubs. They decide not to work around the number 8 hitter, Luis Valbuena, with a pitcher on deck, and he makes him pay. Single back up the middle. Barney in. 3-0 Cubs. Now ninth inning. Diamondbacks with a tying run at the plate, down 4-1. Jeff Blum with a line shot to deep right. Reed Johnson banging up against the wall, makes the catch. Carlos Marmol still not out of the woods, though, as he gets pinch hitter Jason Kubel. They hit a ground ball to first. It goes 3-6-1. And the Cubs hang on as Ryan Dempster wins his 5th consecutive start. He has not allowed a run in his last 33 innings. Carlos Marmol with save number 9. The leadoff man is brought to you by your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers. Check out the award-winning Hyundai Sonata at myhyundaichicago.com.
To you by your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers. Check out the award-winning Hyundai Sonata at myhyundaichicago.com.
Welcome back to the Leadoff Man Stats Sunday, and with us today, and he wrote a great blog feature on WGNTV.com, Bob Vorwald, our executive producer, OPS Plus. So, Bob, tell us why that piqued your interest.
Well, you have OPS, which I think everybody thinks is the most valuable standard for recognizing offense. On base plus, slugging percentage. Throwing the plus in there just normalizes it. It adjusts it for league effects, for the park you play in, and OPS Plus then gives a player a number. 100 is exactly the league average, and it lets you determine, you can sort of see relatively how a guy is doing against the rest of the league. The thing I really love about it is you can look at people from different eras. You can compare people, especially if you're into the Hall of Fame like I am, or who's one of the greatest of all time. You can literally have a good recognition that Babe Ruth, with a 206 lifetime OPS plus, was by far the greatest player of all time. And it just helps you look at, 30 home runs in 1968 is worth more than 30 home runs in 1998.
So in other words, Babe Ruth was over twice as good as any other hitter in Major League history. So we look forward to that. Bob, thanks for stopping by.
Sure.
And check it out on our WGN Baseball blog. And, of course, Ryan Dempster with 5 consecutive scoreless starts. Was it his last start yesterday? He talked about it after the game.
I'm well aware of, of things going on and rumors and things like that. But, I'm a member of the Chicago Cubs, and I'm trying to do my best job for this team and for my teammates, and to go out there and be ready every 5th day to give my best effort.
Check out the award-winning Hyundai Sonata at myhyundaichicago.com.
Getting you set for Cubs baseball today. Hard-throwing right-hander Matt Garza for the Cubs. Right-hander Trevor Cahill for the Diamondbacks. And we'll have all the action coming up on WGN Sports. Wrigleyville is buzzing on game day as the suddenly surging Northsiders look for their 4th consecutive win. They have the best record in baseball since June 25th. They go for the sweep today as they host the Diamondbacks. And we welcome Cub fans from all over the country watching on WGN America, America's home for baseball. And welcome to Wrigley Field. It's hot. Woo! Bob Brenly and Len Casper. Might be the hottest day of the season here at Wrigley Field. Wind shifting all over the place. The Cubs are scoring runs when they need to, Bob, but when you play well, generally it's about good pitching, isn't it?
Well, you talk about being hot. The Cubs pitching staff is red hot right now. Their defense is much improved. They are getting some timely hits, but it all starts out there on the mound. The starters with a perfect 10-0 record over their last 11 victories, and the bullpen has done their job, including Carlos Marmol in the ballgame yesterday.
Well, Matt Garza hopefully is not rusty. It's going to be his first start in 10 days when you include the All-Star break, but he likes pitching at home.
He loves pitching at home. You are a little concerned that Matt might be a little overamped. He's a guy that throws a lot of high fastballs to begin with. He needs to make sure he doesn't elevate those up above the top of the zone.
And a good right-hander for the Diamondbacks. You see Trevor Cahill a lot better on the road.
Yeah, he's a road warrior. Power sinker from Trevor Cahill. Very tough to get the ball in the air against him.
Let's go down to the field as we get set for the anthem.
America, followed by our national anthem.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above, from the mountain through the prairie to the ocean, white with foam. God bless America, my home sweet home. God bless America, my home sweet home. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, it gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Michael McDermott getting his set for Cubs baseball. Got a little hairy in the night, but Reed Johnson with a great catch, and the Cubs turning yet another huge double play as they won the game 4-1. They'll go for the sweep coming up next. Budweiser. A reminder from Budweiser, great times are waiting. Designated driver. Pepsi Max, the official soft drink of Major League Baseball. 0 calories, maximum Pepsi taste. The Illinois Lottery. Do you believe in the power of possibility? The Illinois Lottery. Anything's possible. And by Ford, manufacturers of more fuel-efficient vehicles than any other brand. Check them out at your local Ford store or online at localfordstores.com. Chicago Cubs baseball in high definition is brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Make sure you check out our WGN baseball blog. WGNTV.com is the place. It's brought to you by Jeff Vukovich, nationwide agent serving the area for 33 years. Contact Jeff at jeffvuk.com. Nationwide is on your side, and our executive producer Bob Vorwald taking this week's Stats Sunday feature, and it's on OPS plus, on base plus slugging, but it adjusts it for park factor and the league in which a hitter plays. And what that allows you to do is better compare players in different eras. So if you're at 100 for your OPS plus, you are league average. Every point above that would be 1% above league average, and if you're 99 or below, you'd be considered below average. Let's look at the all-time OPS plus leaders. This is according to baseballreference.com. We thank Fangraphs as well for their glossary definition. Babe Ruth 206, so Bob, about twice as good offensively as the league average player in Major League history. Not a lot of surprises there with some Hall of Famers.
Yeah, not really. Not a lot of surprises. Good hitters, good power hitters, guys that took their walks. Did everything you need to do to rank high on that OPS plus chart.
Let's look at the Cubs career OPS plus leaders. Hack Wilson at the top. George Gore at 151. King Kelly, you're going way back. Cap Anson, Bill Madlock, and Sammy Sosa. Also on that list, currently leading the major leagues in OPS plus, Andrew McCutchen of the Pirates, 191.
Woo.
Now the Arizona Diamondbacks starting lineup will have their OPS plus number listed as they come to bat today. Willie Bloomquist at third, Aaron Hill at second. Justin Upton is in right, hitting third. Stephen Drew's going to clean up today. Paul Goldschmidt at first. Miguel Montero back of the plate. Chris Young homered yesterday. Gerardo Parra in left, and Trevor Cahill on the mound.
And let's check out how the Cubs take the field defensively today behind Matt Garza. Brought to you by Pepsi Max, the official soft drink of Major League Baseball. 0 calories, maximum Pepsi taste. It'll be Soriano, DeJesus, and Lajer left to right across the outfield. Valbuena, Castro, Barney, and Rizzo once again third to first across the infield. Steve Clevenger getting the nod behind the plate today, and he'll be catching right-hander Matt Garza. See his numbers on the season. Matt Garza coming off shortest outing in a long time. Against the Atlanta Braves, went 4 innings, gave up 5 hits and 5 earned runs.
Let's get the umpires for you today. Brian Runge behind the plate. Tim McClellan is the crew chief at first. Ted Barrett's at second. And good old Marvin Hudson over at third. We talked about the weather. It's hot. And, you know, the forecast, Bob, that I saw, I mean, hopefully it won't rain, but when it's this hot, the atmosphere is a little unpredictable.
Always a chance for a pop-up storm, and if batting practice today was any indication, the ball will fly today. Even with the wind blowing in, I guess it would be considered a crosswind right to left. Left-handed pull hitters were banging them through that wind in batting practice.
The wind shifting. It was blowing straight out to right about 2.5 hours ago, but you see kind of blowing in right now, or at least right to left. And it is Willie Bloomquist to lead off for the Diamondbacks. He's at third base. And also consider, when we show you the OPS plus rating for each player, it's not based on position. So you would expect cornermen in the infield and outfield to be a little bit better than the middle infielders in most cases. Bloomquist grounds out on the first pitch.
Well, love those one-pitch at-bats on a day like this, Len. As you mentioned, hot and sticky, sun baking down on Wrigley Field. The quicker you can get your team back in the dugout, the better today.
Yeah, an east wind at 9, so again, technically blowing in. Officially 84 degrees. Second baseman Aaron Hill looks at a strike. See Hill putting together a fine 2012. The ground ball right side. That one gets under the glove of Barney. Probably be a hit for Hill, and it is. And Willie Bloomquist might be hurt.
This is the first pitch of the ball game. Bloomquist with a hard ground ball right at Darwin Barney, and right there slipping out of the batter's box, and a little hitch in his giddy up as he got down there close to first base, and it looked like he went up the tunnel to the Diamondbacks clubhouse.
Now Justin Upton. Very interesting to see if he actually is traded. I like what Kevin Towers, the Diamondbacks general manager, has said. Basically, I can't help if people call us about our players, and every general manager in baseball is trying to do what he can to improve his club. So we sit here and talk about untouchables around baseball, but really, does that term even exist? And if somebody says, I'll give you my whole team for one guy, I think you'd consider it. 0-2.
Yeah, well, for the right deal, everybody's very touchable. I mean, a guy like Justin Upton, with his upside, he's only 24 years old, already one of the premier players in the National League. He figures to continue to get better with more experience, but if you could get several frontline prospects for him or some major league ready players for Justin Upton, and as you said, if it improves your ball club, it's a deal you have to make as a general manager.
Well, Willie Bloomquist back on the bench, and we'll see if he'll stay in the game. Matt Garza again working for the first time in 10 days. 7-3 loss at Atlanta on July 5th. 3 walks, 3 home runs allowed in that game. He's had a lot of success here at Wrigley Field. Try to turn it here. We'll double clutch. They'll get one. Castro not happy with himself. That would have been a tough turn with the way Justin Upton runs and the fact it was in the hole.
Well, fortunately, still had time to get the lead runner at second base. Sometimes when you double clutch like that, you lose the opportunity to get the lead runner, and then you have to hope you can get the batter. But with Justin Upton's speed, they weren't going to get him at first base. Fortunately, Castro able to recover in time to get the lead runner.
Well, Stephen Drew hitting cleanup today. I guess that means he's going to hit second tomorrow in Cincinnati because he batted 8th on Friday, 6th on Saturday, and he's in the 4th spot today. Kurt Gibson just trying to mix it up a little bit. His team has scored just 2 runs in the series. Jason Kubel not in the lineup again. And Drew in a very small sample size, just off the DL. This is only his 12th game. Still looking for his first home run.
I tell you, Stephen Drew has been squaring the ball up pretty regular in the first 2 games of this series, which is kind of surprising. His rehab outings at AA Mobile, he only hit 200. And he had 9 games at AAA Reno. He hit 250 there. But as I mentioned, he's been swinging the bat well in this series.
Runner goes, and Drew fouls it back.
Time to take a look at today's Mazda Drive to Victory and what the Cubs need to do today, especially Matt Garza. No freebies. We mentioned 3 walks in his last outing, 3 walks in the outing before that, and this is a guy that is prone to give up the home run ball. You want to make sure there's solos if they do fly out of the park. For the Diamondbacks, 3 is the magic number. Trevor Cahill is 7-0 when his team scores 3 or more runs, 0-7 when they score less than 3. Drive to Victory brought to you by your local Chicagoland Mazda dealers. See your Chicagoland Mazda dealer for a test drive today at driveamazda.com.
One on, 2 down. We're just underway. Called strike 3. That's a pitch Dale Swain would like to see more of from Matt Garza. More on that later. Cubs coming up. Of Major League Baseball, 0 calories, maximum Pepsi taste. David DeJesus, a 2011 teammate in Oakland of Trevor Cahill's, will lead it off. Castro, Rizzo, Soriano, big weekend for Alfonso. Brian LaHare is in right. Steve Clevenger gets his first start of the second half. Barney, Valbuena, and Garza rounded out.
Take a quick look at the Diamondbacks defensively today. It'll be Parra in left field, Young in center, Upton over in right field, Willie Bloomquist at third base. Stephen Drew and Aaron Hill will make up the double play combo up the middle. Paul Goldschmidt over at first base. Miguel Montero doing the catching for right-hander Trevor Cahill. Heavy power sinker to go along with a real good straight changeup and occasional curveball.
From Oceanside, California, which is way off the coast. Facing the Cubs for the second time in his career, and that one just missed. 2010 All-Star, 18 wins that year for the A's, and as I mentioned last year, these 2 guys were teammates.
Home plate umpire Brian Runge today, notorious for a big strike zone, and evidenced right here by strike 3 on Stephen Drew. It's well off that outside corner over near the inside line of the right-handed batter's box, but Drew rung up on strike 3. Well advised to swing the bats today at anything close.
Two and one on DeJesus. Castro, Rizzo to follow. In on the hands, fouled back. In case you're wondering, Oceanside, California, just north of Carlsbad, Southern California.
Right next to the ocean. Hence Oceanside,
yep.
Right? I don't think it would be in the Central Valley.
No.
It just sounds nice. Oceanside, California.
It does. Full count, 3-2. Cubs have had the best on-base average among all teams in terms of their leadoff spot. Going back to the start of last year, 363. Guys like DeJesus, Fukudome, Castro doing their job. Reed Johnson this season, and DeJesus draws a leadoff walk. Now the shortstop, Starlin Castro. Trying to get hot again. Now down to 287. 1 for 8 this weekend. One missed. You can reach us at LennonBob@Tribune.com via email, and also follow us on Twitter and Facebook. We'd love to hear from you. A lob toss over there by Cahill. Keep an eye on DeJesus. Goes, and Castro pops it up. Foul ground, Goldschmidt over, and DeJesus back to first.
I haven't seen a lot of hit and runs with Dale Swain, but Trevor Cahill would be the perfect pitcher to try to hit and run against. As I mentioned, he throws that power sinker. He usually gives up a lot of ground ball outs. And by starting those runners, you possibly open some holes in the defense on the infield. Stay out of that double play.
Dale very pleased with the way his club is playing. They have the best record in the majors since June 25th, 11-4. By far the best stretch of the season. When you really like, they've just picked up where they left off at the end of the break.
A long chat with Anthony Rizzo this morning, Len, about his new approach at the plate. We made a big deal about it when he was first called up here to the major leagues. Just didn't even look like the same hitter that we saw down in the Cactus League. And I asked him how he came up with this particular stance and this particular approach, and he couldn't give me a good answer. He said it was just trial and error in the batting cage, started to do some different things. He lowered his hands, he raised his hands, and ultimately came up with this particular approach. And I'd have to say it's working pretty well for him. Some corrections to your swing are easy to discern what you should do. If you're hitting a lot of balls in the air, a lot of pop-ups, you want to find a way to get on top of the baseball with more regularity. That usually means raising your hands a little bit, maybe standing a little taller in the batter's box to try to get on top of pitches. Conversely, if you're hitting a lot of ground balls, swinging over the top of it, you lower your hands a little bit, maybe lower your sights as that pitch is coming into the hitting zone. But it's all a matter of trial and error, and when you want to completely retool your swing, it's just get in the cage and see what feels good.
Foul territory, and everybody's scattering as Bloomquist can't make the play.
Bloomquist was in the vicinity, but when he looked away one last time to check how close he was to that Cubs bullpen and looked back up, it looked like he looked right into the sun right there. He never did pick up the baseball at the very end.
Cahill ready. Fire over there again. Cahill does not throw very hard, but as Bob mentioned, a lot of movement on that two-seam fastball. Gets a lot of ground balls. Jesus not running, and that one gets by, and he'll jog down to second.
That'll be ruled a wild pitch, but Miguel Montero's had himself a real rough series behind the plate. He's boxed a lot of borderline pitches. He's missed some balls in the dirt that he should have blocked. That one gets through all the way to the bricks.
Rizzo lines into right. DeJesus around third. Upton's throw. Cut off. They're going to get Rizzo at second. But he does pick up another go-ahead RBI, and it's 1-0 Cubs.
A nice piece of hitting. Real wristy at the end of the swing right there. That pitch was headed for the dirt. Rizzo's able to intercept it before it got down there around the ankles and lined it into right field. Somewhat of a dangerous send by Pat Listash because of Upton's strong throwing arm, but Rizzo does exactly what he should. He's right in front of the cutoff man. Draw that throw to second base to make sure that the run scores.
Rizzo now has 6 go-ahead RBIs.
Run hard down that first baseline just in case. You never know what's going on behind you. You saw Rizzo take a peek over his shoulder. You saw Pat Listash waving the runner home. And as I said, that's what you're supposed to do on that play. Draw the throw yourself to make sure that run scores. If you're sure that run is going to score, then you hold up at first base with a single.
3-1 on Soriano as Rizzo chats with his manager about that base running. 3-2.
Teachable moments. There's always points in the game where you can teach somebody something about the game that either they didn't know or they didn't realize the nuances of the play. And Dale Swaim never hesitates to pull a guy aside right in the middle of a ball game.
Swing and a miss to end the inning, but Anthony Rizzo already with 10 RBIs, and the Cubs lead 1-0.
On WGN America, know that during every Cubs home game this season, if you go to channel 780 or high def channel 1780, you can see a special multi-view presentation that shows you all of our different live camera angles right here at Wrigley Field. It's pretty cool. So if you want to direct the game along with Skip Ellison, give a look to AT&T UVerse channel 780 or high def channel 1780.
Cubs leading 1-0 on the Anthony Rizzo single, scoring David DeJesus. And Matt Garza works to Paul Goldschmidt. Fastball in tight. Now getting back to the pitch, Stephen Drew took for a called strike 3. It might have been a little outside. But I think the Cubs would like Matt Garza to occasionally work that outside corner. He is not afraid to challenge hitters, particularly lefties. Maybe has gotten into some patterns where he just hasn't thrown that fastball on the outside corner enough. You talk about pitching inside, you want pitchers to do that, but Bob, you never want a guy to just keep pounding the same spot over and over, especially inside. Guys like that pitch in that they can turn on.
Especially if they know it's going to come on the inside part of the plate more often than not. You can prepare for that mentally. You can get your bat started a little bit earlier. You can even make adjustments in the batter's box if you're facing a pitcher that only works one side of the plate.
Three and one on Goldschmidt. Pitch was up, but he actually hit it on the ground to Castro. We've got special happy birthday wishes today. Tom Otis Hellman, the Cubs' fine clubhouse manager. There is some debate as to what his actual age is, but we're going to go with 49.
Yeah, Gary and Tim and Rich and Jonathan and Danny, all the guys that worked down in the clubhouse with Otis, wanted to make sure that we sent along those wishes today for his 60th. I didn't say that. He's not 60.
Strike on Miguel Montero.
And he's the second best fisherman in the traveling party. I'll give him that.
Curveball. Missing 1-1. Montero 0 for 8 this weekend. And just 4 for his last 28. Say hi to Hank Smith. Cleveland, Tennessee, watching on WGN America today. Line foul, 2-2. Also, welcome to Lambda Legal. Out on the Bud patio today, celebrating their family day at Wrigley Field. Getting some sun today. Sharply hit ground ball right at Castro, who was shaded up the middle. That's a defensive position. Let's step aside and see what's coming up on WGN. Cubs going for the sweep, leading 1-0. They got swept at Arizona in June. Trying to return the favor here. Another series coming up in Phoenix in late September.
A little confusion right there. Matt Garza had shaken off a couple of pitches from Steve Clevenger, and Kind of started his delivery as Clevenger was in between signs, so he wasn't sure what was coming. Put his hands up in the air immediately, got requested timeout from Brian Runge and got it.
Good curveball. We've seen that pitch maybe a little bit more than usual early on from Garza.
He's got a good one. For my money, you can do one of two things with that curveball. Either show it a lot early in the game and then file it away just to plant the seed in the opposing hitter's mind that you're going to throw that curveball, or don't show it until you really need it. Have one of those lengthy at bats where a guy has fouled off all your pitches, but he hasn't seen the curveball. That's the time to drop it on.
Always loved when Greg Maddux would just throw one.
Just to show it. My favorite curveball is the one that Livan Hernandez used to throw once or twice a game at about 65 miles per hour. Just roll it up there.
Almost an Ephus pitch. I miss watching Greg Maddux pitch, don't you?
Absolutely. So many guys in this game that have plus arm and plus stuff, but they don't know what to do with it.
Busy start for Starlin Castro. He handles all three chances here in the second. 1-0 Cubs. Don't open it.
Parties. Individual and group tickets are available for all games. For more details, go to www.wrigleyvillerooftops.com or call 773-248-ROOF.
All-star Brian LaHare leads off. "14 home runs, and he leads the Cubs, as you see, in OPS plus this season. As our featured stat on Stats Sunday. Thanks to our executive producer Bob Vorwald. Thanks to Fangraphs, Baseball Reference, Tamara Anderson, Mark Stencil for putting together our Stats Sunday feature. This is cut by LaHare and fouled it back. Rob Nyer from SBNation.com will write the feature next week, and you're going to like this one, partner. It's about catchers framing pitches.
Nice.
I have stats about that. Our friend Bruce Miles from the Daily Herald will write about quality starts in 2 weeks. Just missed outside, and it's full 3-2. Bruce is up on all the new numbers,
including 2.
He likes numbers so much he put one on his hat. Well, Harris made his home runs count. 10 of his 14 have either tied the game or given the Cubs a lead. He's protecting that front elbow. Draws the leadoff walk. That worked out well for the Cubs in the opening inning, as it eventually led to a run. Soccer is back at Wrigley Field for the first time since 1984, and tickets are still available for the international friendly at the confines soccer match between Italy's AS Roma and Poland's Zagłębie Lubin, which will be a week from today, July 22nd at 2:30. The majority of seats are available for $50 or less. For more info and to purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com/soccer. Steve Clevenger getting the nod behind the plate. Ben Sheets making his Atlanta Braves debut today, and it's going well, Bob. He's given up 2 hits and no runs against the Mets. They are scoreless in the bottom of the 5th. Good to have Ben Sheets back.
Unless you're a hitter in the National League.
Steven Strasburg has knocked in a run today. He's hitting .385 on the year, and the Nationals lead the Marlins 2-0 as they go to the 6th. They're going to play again tomorrow night, so that is a weekend wraparound series, and what that means is Carlos Zambrano will not face the Cubs this season. He's going to pitch tomorrow night against Edwin Jackson.
That's too bad. That would have been fun to see Big Z on the mound in a Marlins uniform.
We might not find out because, unless he pinch hits or something like that, probably wouldn't be announced. But what the reaction and the reception would be from the fans here at Wrigley Field. I know what they'll be for Ozzie. Take a look at our forward upcoming Cubs schedule. Off day tomorrow. Bob needs it 3 days in a row. It's rough going. We're back on WGN Wednesday night. Ford manufacturers of more fuel efficient vehicles than any other brand. Check them out at your local Ford store or online at localfordstores.com. All 3 games next weekend in St. Louis will be here on WGN. Runner going, and that's bounced to Goldschmidt. Cahill can't get there. Did he tag him? He did. He was not going to beat Clevenger to the base, so instead he tagged him on the chest to get the out.
And for my money, this is probably the only time a slide into first base is the way to go. Cahill knew he wasn't going to be able to get to the bag ahead of Steve Clevenger, so he cut the angle down, went straight to the baseline, and applied the tag right there. But that's an instantaneous decision on the part of the runner coming down that first baseline, and Clevenger didn't see the tag attempt until it was too late.
Called strike on Darwin Barney. When Montero backhanded that bounce pitch, and it looked like he had his head turned when it went into his glove.
I mentioned he's had a rough series back there behind the plate, almost as if his own pitching staff has been crossing him up with regularity. This time he just reaches across, sticks the glove out, and fortunately for him, the ball hopped right into his mitt. Cahill pulls that sinker way over in the left-handed batter's box. Really don't have time to get over there and block that ball in good position anyway. That's the best you can hope for. Just reach across to the backhand, hope that ball hits the glove.
Let's take a look at today's Illinois Lottery Anything's Possible player, Darwin Barney, against the National League West versus everybody else. Well, he's from the West Coast, so I guess that might make some sense. The Anything's Possible player brought to you by the Illinois Lottery, who each day make anything possible. Fly ball to deep left. Way back. Gone. Two-run homer. Like we said, he likes facing the West.
Darwin got a lot of backspin on that ball. It looked like the cut fastball, maybe a slider that just stayed on that inside part of the plate, got down and threw it. No doubt about that one.
3-0. Luis Valbuena high and deep, but not deep enough. We're going to knock it down as Young makes the play.
We need to point out to Darwin Barney that the Cubs dugout is on the west side of the field.
He's from Portland, Oregon, so he should like facing those teams out west, even if it's here. He has now hit 6 career home runs. They've all been at Wrigley Field. See, Matt Garza's OPS plus is -50. If you just joined us, OPS plus normalizes that on base plus slugging. 100 is league average. Every percentage point away from that is 1% above or below average. So Matt Garza has struggled, as a lot of pitchers do. He takes called strike 3, but he has a 3-0 lead because of the Barney 2-run homer.
Luis Gonzalez with a line drive into shallow center field to plate Jay Bell. First World Championship in Diamondbacks history. That was a lot of fun. This year, Budweiser's going to donate $5,000 for every Cubs walk-off win to Folds of Honor. Find us at Facebook.com, Budweiser, for details. There's the guy that got it started, Mark Grace. Base hit to lead off that bottom half of the ninth inning against Mariano Rivera. Of course, we immediately took him down for a pinch runner. Gracie, a big part of that 0-1 Diamondbacks team.
Thanks to Mark for stopping by and handling the stretch on Friday. Hey, how about this? The Diamondbacks have been in the postseason 5 of their 14 years in existence. It's 36% of the time they've made the playoffs. The only franchise in baseball that has gone to the postseason more often, the Yankees. 47% of the time. They've been around a little longer, but still impressive. And Darwin Barney with a home run, making it 3-0. Here's Gerardo Parra playing left, batting 8th. What an arm in the outfield. Ooh. Yesterday he made one of the better throws we've seen. He nailed Starlin Castro to end the 7th.
It's one thing to have a strong throwing arm, but then you add the speed with which he got to the ball. Got his body in a good throwing position quickly, and then just unleashed a rocket to home plate. Boy, that's the throw the catchers love. That long one hop, the ball skips off the grass, comes up somewhere between the knees and the belt. An easy ball to handle. Gives you plenty of time to get that tag. Very impressive for Parra yesterday.
Won a Gold Glove last year. Thing I like now, they're giving Gold Gloves to left fielders, center fielders, and right fielders, not just outfielders. Very comfortable. Another foul. Still 3-2. Pitcher Cahill is on deck, then Bloomquist. Been another issue for Matt, trying to put hitters away with 2 strikes.
Well, it's kind of hard to figure with his arsenal of pitches at his disposal. He can go up high with that 4-seam fastball in the mid-90s. We've seen the real good 12-6 curveball. He's got a good slider. But we've seen a lot of at-bats just like this one that Gerardo Parra is having. Gets to 2 strikes, fouls off pitch after pitch after pitch. And this is the kind of day you'd love to keep that pitch count down in the early going.
Now, his pitches per inning numbers remain fairly consistent. In fact, has gone down maybe a little bit from his early days with the Twins, according to stats. He throws about 16.5 pitches per inning. Ground ball right to Barney, down to a knee, up with it, and the out.
Hey, Cub fans, if you want to manage a game along with Dale Swaim, log on to WGNTV.com right now and click on the WGN Sports Game Zone banner to connect to all the up-to-the-minute stats and information while you're watching at home. Game Zone is sponsored by The Great Escape. Pools, patio sets, play sets, hot tubs, and more.
Hide your eyes, Trevor Cahill's OPS plus.
Let's see it. Well, Matt Garza has set the bar pretty low, I guess.
Yeah.
It was negative 50.
Two and 0.
Ooh.
Down the middle, 2-1.
Sometimes it's hard to figure, Len, because if you talk to pitchers around the major leagues, most of them in their youth were good hitters. A lot of times when they didn't pitch, they played shortstop or went behind the plate to catch or played center field or first base to keep their bats in the lineup. But they get to the major league level and it just seems to disappear. It has a lot to do with the opposing pitcher.
Well, and in Garza and Cahill's case, they started out in the American League. Look at that.
Look at that.
Just as we say it. What's your line about everybody being dangerous?
Anybody that's got a piece of wood in their hand is dangerous, as Trevor Cahill just proved. What a horrible looking swing for the numbers that he's sporting this season. Clean single into shallow center field that time. Get his jacket. No, I guess not today.
For Cahill, it's his fourth career hit, 46 at bats. Slider outside to Bloomquist. Whatever he tweaked coming out of the batter's box to start the game is fine. He never did show any other sign of it on defense in between at bats. I want to send out condolences to the family of Leona Golson, lifelong Cub fan who recently passed away in Newton, Iowa. One and two on Bloomquist. Here it is. 2-2. Congrats to Jordy and Allie Kirschenbaum on the birth of their baby girl today, Lexi Ryan. And he got him, swing and a miss, strike three for his second strikeout. 2 down.
That elevated fastball we talked about, very valuable weapon for Matt Garza when he can elevate it up there above the top of the strike zone when he's ahead in the count. Very tempting pitch to swing at, very tough to catch up to.
Michael Sands Jr. on Twitter asks, Bob, what was your favorite snack in the dugout or the bullpen?
Didn't really eat a lot during the games. I had sunflower seeds like a lot of guys. Coffee. Something that kind of developed late in my playing career and is very common nowadays is the post batting practice pizza that some of the clubhouses serve. Thank God they didn't have that when I played.
Oh, man.
Well, these guys spend so much time at the ballpark. It used to be you'd get a bologna sandwich after the ball game, and now most teams have a chef in there for day games making omelets, serving healthy fare for the players to eat before and after the ball games.
Three and 0 on Hill with Upton on deck. Cubs leading 3-0. Running the first, 2 more in the second on the Barney home run. And Garza has walked his first hitter today, and that will bring up Upton.
Before Upton takes his at bat, Len, have you been paying any attention to Reds minor league shortstop Billy Hamilton?
A little bit.
Whoa.
How many stolen bases to date?
He's been called up to Double-A, but combined between A-ball and Double-A, he's got 109 stolen bases in 86 ball games. He's been caught 22 times. Obviously, if you're going to steal that many bases, you got to get on base a lot. Well, this guy hits. He's got 112 hits on the season, and he's walked 53 times. His on-base percentage .413 going into play today. That's just remarkable. You know who has been paying attention to Billy Hamilton? Paul Cozart.
Oh, yeah.
Currently the starting shortstop for the Cincinnati Reds. Hamilton's probably another year or two away, but if the Reds find themselves in playoff contention as we move deeper into the season, Billy Hamilton could be one of those guys they call up just to use as a pinch runner.
They're tied with the Pirates, top the division. They've won 5 in a row. Garza needed that one. 2-1. Interesting piece in the Joe Sheehan newsletter. Joe is going to write a Stats Sunday blog for us later this summer. He also writes for Sports Illustrated about Upton and the thought of the Diamondbacks possibly trading him. And a great line in there we've heard before: progress isn't always linear. Does that sound familiar? We've heard Theo Epstein talk about that. Sheehan, looks at Upton's numbers. The biggest change from last year is he's making more contact on lower pitches. That has upped his ground ball percentage when he swings at those pitches, which has then in turn hampered his slugging percentage. And Joe notes that he's actually a more selective hitter. He swings and misses. But he is swinging and missing less often. His numbers are down, but if you look at some of the other things that you look for in a hitter, he does seem to be maturing as a big league hitter. So if you look at his season in that regard, it hasn't been as, quote, bad as maybe some people think. And we know all the talent he has. 3-2, the runners will go with 2 outs. Here's a pitch. Swing and a miss, he got him. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Garza, working with a 3-0 lead.
To you by Bud Light Limerita. We're ready to drink margarita with a refreshing twist of Bud Light Lime.
Cubs leading 3-0. Tobias Dold is watching us. The Black Forest of Germany. Not sure what time it is over in Europe right now, but glad you're with us. John Hutt is watching us in Jonesboro, Arkansas. Glad to have you with us. So I want to say hi to Mike Kaufman in Waterloo, Iowa. Top of the order here for the second time through to Jesus, Castro, and Rizzo. And a called strike. Cahill, a former second-round pick of the Oakland A's back in 2006, two-time organizational pitcher of the year. Came over with lefty Craig Breslow and some cash. December 9th, Jared Parker, Ryan Cook, and outfielder Colin Coghill. Ryan Cook made the All-Star team this year. Comes a 1-2. A chopper up the middle, backhanded by Hill, running away from first and makes a perfect throw.
Hey fans, stay tuned for the 7th inning stretch, brought to you by Captain Morgan. Raise your glass, always in moderation, to life, love, and loot. Today, Chicago Bears running back Khalil Bell will lead us in the 7th inning stretch. Recently named one of 2012's most eligible Chicago bachelors. How about that? Yeah. Living the life.
Chad Billings, he's scratched from his start today against the Padres. He's got some elbow pain, so Chris Capuano will pitch instead for the Dodgers. Don Mattingly, the only issue he has is that Billingsley didn't really let on that he was hurt. Drew throws out Castro. It's a fine line, isn't it?
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing, Len. It's funny how your attitude about that changes. When you're a player, you do not want to get a reputation as a guy that hangs around the training room or takes yourself out of the lineup for nagging little injuries. You want your teammates to respect your professionalism and the fact you'll go out there and play at less than 100%. But as a manager, you want to know every hangnail that your players have, just in case it affects the decisions that you make in a ball game.
Two 2-0 on Rizzo. And Mattingly, certainly understands that. Hit hard, but Goldschmidt is there, and that'll end the inning. First time the Cubs haven't scored today. They go down in order, but lead 3-0.
One of the all-time strong defensive catchers to ever put the gear on. We were very fortunate to have him here in Chicago. He's played for the Dodgers, the Rockies, the Brewers, the Braves, the Twins, the Cubs, the Padres, the Mets, and now the Diamondbacks. And of course, he's got his own fan club, the Hank White Fan Club.
One of our favorites. He leads all active catchers in caught stealing percentage.
Xfinity Home offers state-of-the-art features that help you stay connected to your home and family anytime, anywhere.
Stephen Drew clubs one to center, but right at DeJesus.
I mean, Henry Blanco really is the prototypical backup catcher. Handles a pitching staff extremely well. With great knowledge of opposing hitters. He throws extremely well from behind home plate, and as an offensive player, he'll run into a home run every now and again. He can move runners around the bases. That's why he's been around for 15 seasons and probably play as long as he wants to.
Last year, in 100 at bats, he hit 8 home runs. But yeah, you're not acquiring Henry Blanco for his offense. No. For all the other stuff. Two to Goldschmidt. This offense is going to heat up again. We just hope it's after today. Pretty well for Ben Sheets. Braves giving him some run support in his Atlanta debut. 6-0 in the 7th. Sheets went 6 innings, gave up 2 hits, no runs. He got him. Goldschmidt thought it was ball 4.
A little slider right out there, maybe a cut fastball, just catches the edge of that outside corner in the estimation of Brian Runge. We talked about his wide zone under any circumstances, but on a hot day here at Wrigley.
Two down, it's Montero. Ground ball through and a base hit. We got an email from Vern Lemke, who's in Lockport, Illinois. Wanted to know what Bob Brenly's lifetime OPS plus was. And good question, Vern. It's 106. So you were 6% better than the average big league hitter during your era.
That's nice to know.
131 in your All-Star season of 1984.
I wish my agent would have had access to these advanced sabermetrics.
Some good numbers on you. Led the National League in 1987 with assists behind the plate with 83.
I did not know that.
Yep.
I'm better now than I was when I played.
You led the National League with a .995 fielding percentage as a catcher in 1986.
Third base, not so much.
Young with a base hit. Back-to-back two-out singles, and the tying run will come up.
Once again, a little baby slider or cut fastball in the upper 80s. Left that one up and out over the plate for Young. A little trouble locating that particular pitch.
Did you know you got 1 point in the MVP balloting in 1984? Who voted for you? Do you know?
Jerry Fraley, who at the time wrote for the Atlanta newspaper, and I had just an unbelievable season against the Braves that particular year.
A lot of Cubs on that list, as you can imagine, in '84. Rhino won it. Rick Sutcliffe, Sarge, both in the top 5. Jody Davis was 10th. Leon Durham 12th. Ron Say, Bob Dernier also on the list. And on the hands, pop foul and out of play. 0-2. Here it comes. Went with a curveball and blocked by Clevenger.
Chris Bosio, the pitching coach, appreciative of that effort by Steve Clevenger. And that's not an accident, Len. You know as well as I do that on days when Cubs, either Clevenger or Soto, are not catching, they go down to the bullpen with Mike Borzello, work on some drills, sometimes blocking balls in the dirt, sometimes just receiving pitches, working on their framing, working on their footwork for their throws to the bases. Just because you're not in the starting lineup doesn't mean you have a day off, especially when you're a catcher.
In 18 games against the Atlanta Braves in 1984, you hit .388, 6 homers, 19 RBIs. You had a couple of steals, too. But yeah, you were the MVP against Atlanta.
They had some sorry pitching staffs back then at old Fulton County Stadium, the launching pad.
Parra swings and misses, and the inning is over. They've stranded 5 through 4, and the Cubs have the lead 3-zip.
Of the game yesterday, clinging to a 3-run lead, couple runners on base. Reed Johnson crashing into the vines to make a great catch for the first out of the inning. Cubs were able to turn a double play to end the threat, but what a great effort by Reed Johnson. See what's possible with AT&T UVerse high-speed internet. AT&T, rethink possible. And Reed was kind enough to talk to us after the ball game yesterday and talked about how he never looked off the baseball. He counted on feeling the warning track under his feet to know when he was getting close to the wall.
Soriano struck out in his first at bat. On Friday, had one of the best games of his career. 4 for 4, tied his career best with 5 RBIs, 2 homers, 2 doubles. And high fly out into left center. It's Parra. Well, the leadoff walks have been big in this one. The Cubs have taken 2, and both times have come around to score. To Jesus in the first, Leher in the second. On the way, changed him up.
To create your own shade in that Cubs bullpen.
A little tougher on the other side for the visitors. At some point here in maybe about 45 minutes, they'll get a little respite on the third base side, but not in that spot. Deflected and slowed down by Cahill, and a base hit for Leher.
Oh, hit like a bullet right back where it came from. Cahill just deflects it. There's going to be a base hit into center field if he doesn't touch it. It looked like Aaron Hill just didn't have a good grip on that ball, decided not to risk a throw to first base.
Got an email saying Steve Clevenger's grandfather Ronnie watches every Cub game in West Virginia on WGN. So I hope you're tuned in. With your grandson in the lineup. Maybe he knows Randy Hundley, West Virginia. Charlie Manuel's from there too, right?
I believe so.
Yeah. I've never been to West Virginia. You know, this is fun to do, and I did it the other day with my son. We went through all 50 states and listed the ones we've been to and the ones we hadn't been to. We're down to 28.
I went to Parkersburg, West Virginia almost every Friday of my collegiate career at Ohio University in Athens, Ohio. It was a very short 45-minute drive, and in the state of West Virginia, you could buy alcohol at 18.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah. So every Friday after our last class, we'd take a little road trip over to Parkersburg and load up for the weekend. I think the statute of limitations has run out on that particular violation.
See if Leher's on the move. 3-2 to Clevenger. There he goes. Clevenger ground ball. Backhanded neatly by Drew. He was headed towards second base. 2 down. Want to see a Cubs game from the front row at Wrigley Field? Now you can. Visit Cubs.com. Click on the CBOE front row seats auction to bid on tickets in the front row, behind home plate, and along the first base line. Front row seats will be auctioned off to every game all season long. Don't miss your chance. Go to Cubs.com and check out the CBOE front row seats auction today. Barney with a 2-run blast his first time up. Cahill surrounding the zone but not getting a call yet. 2-0. The Hank White fan club appreciated our shout out, tweeting, "We'll celebrate with a group nap at 4 o'clock." Oh yeah. His head and the breaking ball. 3-1.
A smart move there by Darwin Barney. Very subtle little thing. You think back to Willie Stargell in his playing days as a Pirates on a similar pitch. It hit his bat and went into fair territory. That time Darwin Barney, as he's ducking, takes the bat with him to make sure that that pitch didn't inadvertently hit the bat and go into fair territory.
And 2 just after Barney discarded that bat. It's always a little bit embarrassing.
A borderline sinker on that outside part of the plate.
Chop to Drew. And the inning is over. And head off to the 5th. Cubs leading the Diamondbacks 3-0.
Member FDIC.
Trevor Cahill leading off the Arizona 5th. He is 1 for 1. They have 4 hits. They've all been singles. One of the keys is Garza has retired every leadoff hitter to this point. Called strike. A swinging bunt. Garza continues to have issues throwing as he lost his footing. Yes, and that's going to be a hit. It is. Trevor Cahill had 3 career hits coming in. He has 2 in this one.
No question, Garza slipped a little bit as he got to that ball, but that didn't come out of his hand real good right there. Fortunately, did not go into that first base dugout or camera area. Otherwise, Cahill would be on second base right now.
The leadoff man is on for the first time, and it'll bring up Bloomquist. Ball 1. Got a piece of the bat. Well, instead of 2-0, it's 1-1. Late swing that time, 1-2. We'll be celebrating the career of Ron Santo all week on the WGN News. He'll be in Cooperstown beginning Wednesday, celebrating Santo. Coming up 9:30 a week from today, 9:30 p.m. Central, Sunday, July 22nd, after Ronnie goes into the Hall of Fame. And we'll be in St. Louis next weekend. Cubs and Cardinals. On the ground, Castro, the flip. Barney, the throw, and good play by Rizzo just to keep that ball from maybe bouncing out of play.
First prerequisite for a ground ball double play is to have the ball hit hard. That time just a little dribbler off the broken bat. Cubs are only able to get the lead runner at second base.
Bill has reached twice. Started the day at 299, now up to 301. Slider misses away. Very hot afternoon, 84, but feels a lot hotter on the field. These pitchers have slowed things down today. Pitch count getting up there for Garza. He's only walked one, but there have been a lot of deep counts. Valbuena picks it up. Barney's throw in time. They turn it. And the inning is over. Still 3-0. The Curious Bank, member FDIC. The Cubs pitching staff has been tremendous this weekend. The Diamondbacks with a run Friday, one yesterday, nothing through 5 today.
Yeah, it's an explosive offense in that first base dugout. We were talking between innings. They just not swinging the bats well so far in this series. But you know, at some point they are going to heat up. A home run hitting ball club with some speed scattered throughout their lineup. It'll be tough for manager Kirk Gibson to watch right now.
A strike on Valbuena. Garza on deck.
A couple of Cub fans watching in Farmington, Kentucky this afternoon. John Casey and Paul Pollock dialed in. Only because it's too hot to go fishing.
That's a good day to sit in the air conditioning.
Oh, yeah.
And watch Cubs baseball. Good hats working today on this hot, sunny afternoon. Swing and a miss for strike 3, and let's step aside and see what's coming up on WGN. Ron and Bob on our WGN Sports crew. Beautiful Wrigley Field at Garza. Strike 1. Tuesday night, Anibal Sanchez, a right-hander for Miami, will face left-hander Travis Wood, who's been very hot for the Cubs. Josh Johnson, Jeff Samardzija here on WGN Wednesday night, and then Mark Burley and Paul Maholm. A couple of quick working left-handers on Thursday afternoon, getaway day. Bounce to the shortstop, Drew. Throws to Goldschmidt.
Hey fans, come cheer on the Cubs as they battle the Marlins this upcoming Tuesday night and help celebrate the 1-year anniversary of Rivers Casino. Game time is 7:05, but be sure to get to the ballpark early. The first 20,000 adults 21 and older will receive a deck of cards and a special offer presented by Rivers Casino. For more information and to purchase tickets, as always, visit Cubs.com.
Missed opportunity for the Marlins this weekend. They're down 4-0 in the bottom of the ninth against the first place Nationals. That would be 2 out of 3 for the Nats to start this 4-game series. Miami 9 games out in the East. It's been a big disappointment. One really good month, that was May. But their roller coaster ride has made for interesting fodder for the Showtime series, a franchise. Caught the first episode last night. Deep to center. Chris Young back on this one, and he's going to get there with the wind helping him a little bit. Cubs lead 3-0 after 5 from Wrigley. Time get exceptional lease deals on a new 2012 BMW 3 Series. Visit ChicagolandBMW.com for more information. Pretty quiet weekend for just about this entire Diamondbacks lineup. Trevor Cahill, one guy you don't expect to do any damage, has 2 hits. But they have been shut out as we get into the 6th.
Now, Montero and Young had their hits back-to-back in that 4th inning after 2 outs, but Garza was able to strike out Gerardo Parra and the threat.
Three, 4, and 5, starting with Upton. Happy 11th, young man. It's low. 1-1. Toronto beat Cleveland. That's a final 3-0. Up at Rogers Center, Carlos Villanueva with a career high 8 strikeouts.
Tickets are still available for the 2012 Cubs season, including the next series against the Marlins starting this Tuesday right here at Wrigley Field. To purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com, call 1-800-THE-CUBS, or visit the Wrigley Field box office.
Blue Jays came in tied for last in the American League East, 44-44, tied with the Red Sox. Boston leading at Tampa Bay 6-3 in the 6th. Sunday night game tonight has the Cardinals and the Reds from Cincinnati. I mentioned the Reds have now won 5 in a row. Ryan Ludwig with a game-ending homer in the 10th yesterday.
Interesting matchup tonight. Jake Westbrook going for the Cardinals against Johnny Cueto. A little history there between the Reds right-hander and the St. Louis Cardinals.
One hit well out into deep right center, but DeJesus has got enough room right in front of the warning track to get through 2 outs. The thing you like about what's happening here lately, Bob, when it comes to the pitching staff, is if you get 6 innings out of your starter and you have the lead, the bullpen has done the job. Especially guys like Camp and Russell and Marmol. And Corpus added in there. And you've got some more defined roles now.
I like to use the term using your bullpen in an orderly fashion. Everybody's got a role down there, and when you can set it up, get 6 strong out of your starter, maybe 7 strong innings out of your starter, turn the ball over to the bullpen with the lead, Dale Swain feels like he's got a formula for the end of the ball game now, with Camp and Corpus and James Russell leading the way for Carlos Marmol. We were talking about it the other day. When you call down to the bullpen and you have to ask the bullpen coach, who can give me an inning down there, that's when you know it's not orderly.
Called strike 3-1 to Goldschmidt. In 2. By the way, it will not be Johnny Cueto tonight. He's got a finger blister. So Homer Bailey instead tonight for the Reds. Outside corner. Strike 3 called, number 6 for Garza, and it's still 3-0. Grant Township Little League. Ray Chevrolet and your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers are supporting leagues and young ball players in their communities through the Chevy Youth Baseball program. From the big leagues to the youth leagues, Chevy is truly the official vehicle of baseball. All right. Yes, dear, you're right. I'm sorry. Notice that quote is over his head.
Yeah. Usually that doesn't start until much deeper into the relationship, not on the honeymoon.
Ball 1 to Starlin Castro. Cubs leading 3-0. Got the runs early. And an Anthony Rizzo RBI single in the first, a 2-run homer from Darwin Barney in the second. Hard hit ground ball foul.
This kind of follows the pattern for Trevor Cahill. His ERA in the first inning of games this year was .688. Then after that, a .212 mark from innings 2 through 5. So Cubs took advantage early, got their runs. And now Cahill has apparently settled in.
Yale product Craig Breslow, left-hander, up in the Arizona pen. Outside to Rizzo. Missed again, 2-0. What a play last night by Anthony Rizzo's former teammate Everth Cabrera. Stole home to tie the game in the ninth inning with 2 outs. On the play, Will Venable came around because a pitcher for the Dodgers, Kenley Jansen, overthrew his catcher A.J. Ellis trying to get Cabrera. So 2 runs scored, and the Padres would win the game 7-6. Rizzo walks.
Hitting the road? Well, take the Cubs with you this season. Subscribe to MLB.tv today to see every Cubs out-of-market game live online and on your favorite devices in HD quality. Visit Cubs.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere.
Well, that's a pretty gutsy maneuver with 2 outs. And if it had been a good throw from Jansen, the game would have ended.
Yeah.
Cabrera can fly, and he caught Jansen with his back turned to home plate for just a second. That's all he needed. In fact, the home plate umpire, Greg Gibson, originally called him out before realizing the ball was rattling around near the backstop.
I like it. We were talking about Bryce Harper the other day that advanced from second to third when he caught the infielders with their heads down. And with the home run ball not being as prevalent in the game now as it was in the past era, those little things like that, alert base running, little extra hustle, keeping your head up at all times on the field of play to see if you can take advantage of the other team, it's going to be at a premium. Guys who play the game that way are going to be very valuable.
Might have been a little deep by Montero, who did field that ball, but then turned around and faked a run to the backstop to see if Rizzo was on the move, which he was not. Swing and a miss.
You can occasionally get away with that with a left-handed hitter at the plate because the runner at first is somewhat screened. But with nobody in that left-handed batter's box, Anthony Rizzo had a real good look at it. He could see Montero had the ball in his glove and was just trying to decoy right there.
And on that one, fouled it straight back. Cahill at the belt, now to the plate. The base hit to left. Comes Kirk Gibson, and he's already asked for the left-hander Breslow with LaHair coming up. That'll be it for Cahill. Well, the Cubs will try to add on against the left-hander when we come back. Born in New Haven, Connecticut, went to Yale, 26th round pick of the Milwaukee Brewers 10 years ago. He's been with several different major league clubs. And like you, he majored in molecular biophysics and biochemistry. And it's a final in Atlanta. Ben Sheets with his first win in 2 years as the Braves beat the Mets 6-1. For Atlanta, that's the Braves' 7th consecutive win. Breslow to LaHair inside, ball one. I talked to Craig Breslow the other day, and I said, your teammates ever give you any grief for being the quote smart guy? And he said, no. He will take a look at some of the in-depth pitching numbers. He said, I don't do it much during the season. It's counterproductive. But, you know, in the winter he'll do it, and maybe at the All-Star break just to see if he needs to change anything. That ball will be caught by Chris Young. And Rizzo tagged from second. Nicely done by Chris Young. 2 outs.
Sinking line drive into center field. Anthony Rizzo immediately goes back to tag up at second base. You can see Alfonso Soriano went about 3/4 of the way to second. That's a tough one to read right there for a base runner at either base, but that time Rizzo got it right as Young went tumbling on the grass out there in center field to make the catch. He was able to tag and advance on to third base, which could be significant given the issues Miguel Montero's had behind the plate in this series.
Pitch to Steve Clevenger. This is the outside corner. Now, Breslow said one thing he looks at is batting average on balls in play, and if that's elevated and some of the other main numbers are down, he said, I try not to overreact. We talked about that particular stat on a previous stat Sunday, that sometimes that's based on luck. So ball's put in play. Breslow said his numbers were a little off last year, but wasn't as concerned as he might normally be. Well, he could be doing a lot of things, but he chose to play baseball, which worked out well for him.
Well,
Inside.
Thank goodness you don't have to be a molecular biologist to play this game, whatever it was he majored in. See, that's the difference. When I'm driving to Parkersburg on Friday afternoon to load up for the weekend, he was at the library.
His homepage on his laptop is WebMD, and yours is Bass Pro Shop. 3-2 with 2 outs. Soriano will go. Here it is, fouled back.
Breslow, kind of an interesting guy in that he throws a 2-seam fastball, he throws a cut fastball, and he throws a straight changeup. So technically, he doesn't really throw a lot of breaking pitches. He does have a slider that he'll use occasionally on a lefty, but basically just a fastball that he'll work both directions and a straight changeup.
Foul tip, he got him to end the inning. Cubs strand 2, lead 3-0 after 6. That's the only one by our good friend Pete Donnelly on his solo album. That's our Bud Fan Cam, brought to you by Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Grab some Buds. He plays in the Figs. We appreciate their participation in our hot stove cool music. He's also playing bass with NRBQ currently. We had fun hanging with those guys, didn't we?
Oh man, I'm telling you.
Pete Hayes, Mike Gent, Sean Camp up in the Cubs bullpen, 3-0 here in the 7th. Being able to play the 1965 Jazz Fender bass, that was quite a thrill.
I don't think anybody's ever played it quite the way you did that.
I think that's true, actually. That's a really good point.
I thought it was interesting, Len. We saw the band right before they went out to take the stage, working on their playlist. And I told them that reminds me of when I used to manage, trying to make out a daily lineup, trying to figure out how it best fits together. Well, if you do that there,
right,
then we can play this one later.
.02 is high. Yeah, there's a very kind of specific way to set up a rock and roll set list. You don't want to have too many fast, upbeat songs in a row. You got to cleanse the palate, as they say, with an occasional ballad or two. Montero not happy with himself as he strikes out. 7 for Garza.
He just rushed that fastball right past Montero at 94. Late in the game on day 3 of a very hot, steamy series here at Wrigley Field, and some of the bats are starting to slow down just a little bit.
Pitching coach Chris Bosio. Chris Young, ball 1.
I don't know if Chris Bosio has an official nickname. Guys call him Boz. I think parentheses would be a really good nickname for him. If you've ever seen him walk onto the field.
It's a little painful.
Yeah, his legs aren't straight.
Valbuena with a catch, 2 outs. He gets around well enough. Guys who spent a lot of time in the big leagues, he's going to see some sort of change in their gait.
Oh, yes. Yeah, we were talking about Kirk Gibson and his third base coach Matt Williams running the bleachers here at Wrigley Field during this series, and that's not a comfortable visual either. I mean, there's an old saying, leave it on the field, and that's what Kirk Gibson did. That's what Chris Bosio did. Sacrifice their body for the good of the team and their careers, and the byproduct is when you get to a certain age, things start breaking down.
Barrow went around, 0-2. But in that time, deep breath by Garza in the 1-2 side. Jeff Blum is on deck. He would hit for Breslow. The inning extends. A ground ball. Barney ranging to his right. Throw to first. Got it. Time for the stretch with Khalil Bell of the Bears.
Guest conductor for Take Me Out to the Ball Game. Chicago Bears running back Khalil Bell.
All right, Cubs fans, let me hear you. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and cracker jacks. I don't care if I never get back, 'cause it's root for the Cubbies. They don't win, it's a shame, 'cause it's 1, 2, 3 strikes around at the old ball game. Let's get some.
Nissan, innovation that excites. Visit ChooseNissan.com. Every home run he's hit in his short career has been here at Wrigley Field. Great to have with us Bears running back Khalil Bell, who I got to tell you, we've had a lot of Bears in the booth singing the stretch. Might have been the best one yet.
Man,
nicely done.
Thank you very much, man. First of all, I just want to thank my mom, because she gave me this beautiful voice I have. And, you know, other than that, I just let it rip, let it fly.
It was good. Had the right pacing and everything.
I'm not going to lie, that was more nerve-wracking than carrying the ball on Sunday nights, I tell you that. I was nervous.
That's what Jay said. That's what all the guys say.
I know you guys have a lot to work on in training camp, but you might want to pull Jay aside and give him some pointers, because I'll tell you blew him right out of the water.
He must have been bad, because I've been getting that all day. I'm gonna have to talk to him. I'm just talking to him, just asking him. Well, must have been an off day for him.
Does he usually sing good around the locker room?
You know, I've never heard him sing.
Yeah.
But I can take him under my wing, teach him some lessons.
There you
know
go.
What I mean?
There you go. Be a good teammate.
Brian Shaw, the Diamondbacks pitcher. All right, let's listen to your quarterback from yesterday.
I don't care if I ever get back. It's root for the Cubbies. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball.
Oh man, that was funny right there.
Backhanded play. Bloomquist with a long throw.
Safe.
Out. What a play. That was a long throw by Bloomquist. Good stretch by Goldschmidt. Very close.
Really close.
So 1 away.
Does the tie go to the runners?
Well, you know, there's nothing really written in about the tie, but yeah, I guess that's generally accepted.
I tried to drop that on an umpire one time. Khalil, he told me there is no such thing as a tie.
Right.
In my book, there is.
I got to ask you, UCLA product. Now, you would not have overlapped with Trevor Bauer, correct? But
No.
have you ever met?
I have not.
The Diamondbacks pitcher?
I have not.
We will not see him in this series. The 3rd overall pick in last year's draft.
He might have been a freshman my senior year
Okay.
coming out. But you know how it is in college.
Right.
Freshmen, seniors
Well,
tend to stick with their own
right.
kind.
It's not like
It seems like
UCLA is a tiny university.
Oh
either.
yeah, it's a lot of people, a lot of hills too. Up and down them hills all day. 2 class from class.
It's a 1-1 to Valbuena. Fouled back 1 and 2. Who did you idolize growing up?
You know, unfortunately, I know a lot of Bears fans don't want to hear this, but man, Barry Sanders was. I was really a Lions fan just because of him. I've never seen a running back do some of the things he's done, even today. You know, obviously he's one of the greatest to ever do it, if not the greatest.
Certainly the most elusive.
Exactly. I mean, but you know, him and I was a little young, but Walter Payton was definitely an idol of mine as well. I was actually number 34 throughout my whole college career. You know, I would be 34 now, but you know, I think that number's retired for the Bears. I don't know, not sure. But yeah, man, to be what he was for the franchise for so long, to run the ball the way he did, to be an influence in the community like he was, you know, I think if people aspire to be like he was, you know, guys are going to be all right. So I definitely looked up to those 2 guys growing up.
Shaw with a 1-2. That missed a little bit low.
Did you play other sports growing up?
I played everything except soccer.
Except soccer.
Except soccer. Basketball, football, track, volleyball. You know, that's my only regret is not playing soccer and not sticking with baseball long enough. But, you know, funny story. You know, everyone wants to talk about the glory days, but, you know, I was the #1 home run hitter in my baseball league one year. Didn't make the All-Star team, so I never played again. That was the last year I played. Mistake I made. Nah, but I love what I do.
I think you made a good choice.
I think I did too. I think it worked out for the best.
Now it says in high school you were voted the best dancer by your classmates, so you could sing and dance.
Yeah, I try to dip and dabble in all aspects of life. I like to diversify my stocks and bonds. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, I was shooting for most athletic, but they gave it to somebody else, so I guess I just had to settle for best dancer. It works out though.
Well, having a good footwork, that helps on the football field too.
Now, I pointed out earlier, Khalil, you were voted one of the 2012 most eligible Chicagoans by Chicago Magazine.
Yes, sir.
But you're working hard to maintain that, aren't you?
That was a great honor right there, man. You know, the people over there at Chicago Magazine did a great job. The photo shoot was fun. The event was fun. The magazine was great. It was just a good way to get my name out there and just to tell the ladies, hey, how you doing? I'm here.
For some reason, I don't think you have any trouble getting dates.
Oh, I got so much trouble.
Oh.
They don't like me, man. I don't know what it is.
You've got a national stage right here on WGN, so I don't think you have to worry about it much longer. 3-2 on Valbuena. And he pops into shallow center, and it's going to be Chris Young.
If you'd like, we could put your cell phone number up on the screen there if any ladies around the country want to call you.
Oh, that's too much information right there.
Probably too much.
That's too much information. But I do got a Twitter.
You do?
And
what is it?
Khalil Bell 32.
Khalil
Bell 32.
Okay.
Real simple.
You're going to get a lot of followers as a result of this interview.
I hope so. I hope they compliment me on my singing skills.
They will. They will for sure. You ready for training camp? Get
Yes,
this
sir.
thing going.
I'm excited, man. You know, I think, you know, our coaches have been talking about it. We've been talking about it. You know, this is one of the best teams we've had in a while. I mean, definitely on paper, this is the best team we've had since I've been a Bear. And, you know, we were rolling last year, had a couple injuries that kind of set us back. But, you know, I'm excited, man. I think the people of Chicago are excited as well.
I don't think there's any question about that. Certainly having Jay healthy for a full season will help a lot. It's going to be a tough division. One of the best in football.
It's stacked, man. You know, the Lions, they were the playoff team last year. Green Bay, obviously, you know, everyone knows what they have. Us, Minnesota. You know, it's going to be a tough division, but that's the fun in it, though. Nice hit.
Johnson fouls that one off.
But that's the fun in it, though. You know what I mean? You know, it's never fun when one team is just so dominant throughout the division. It's fun when you get into those December games, those early January games where they count. You know, whoever wins this game wins the division. I remember, you know, 2 years ago when we played Green Bay or Minnesota. You know what I mean? When we won that, we locked up the division. Last year, the year before that, all these games come down. They all matter. And that's what the fans like. That's what we like as competitors.
Swing and a miss to end the inning. Pleasure. Khalil Bell, thanks for stopping by. Best of luck here in 2012.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Garza with a 2-run homer to make it 3-0 early. And Garza very good. Threw a lot of pitches, but did not give up a run through 7 innings. Visit your local Chicagoland Honda dealer today. Test drive a 2012 Honda Accord. Johnson remains in the game in right. And what's the question, Kirk Gibson? So LaHare out, and that would put Sean Camp in the 5 spot in the Cubs order.
I'm not sure exactly what the beef was from the Diamondbacks dugout. It appeared that everything was done according to protocol, but now Brian Runge, the home plate umpire, making his way over to Dale Swain to explain what's going on.
So there you go. Sean Camp in the 5 spot as Ryan Roberts will pinch hit.
Roberts has been mired in a miserable slump over his last 13 games, hitting only .222, coming off the bench today to pinch hit. 3 for 14 on the season as a pinch hitter for Kirk Gibson.
First pitch strike. Russell up in case he's needed here in the 8th inning. Outside, 2-1. First time we've seen the Diamondbacks closer on the bullpen mound this weekend, J.J. Putz. Lifted in the air to center. And DeJesus puts it away. 18 2/3 consecutive scoreless innings now for Sean Camp. You know, he's one guy we haven't mentioned. You're hearing about names like Dempster and Garza. Maybe Paul Maholm, Reed Johnson, Jeff Baker, some veteran guys who are getting looks from scouts of other teams. But how about Sean Camp? Putting together a very nice season here with the Cubs.
More than anything else, Sean Camp's ability to throw quality strikes with that sinker and the slider. Rarely makes mistakes over the heart of the plate.
Bloomquist will send that one foul through the bullpen.
Sean Camp realizes that he's not the kind of pitcher that can just challenge the strike zone against opposing hitters. He's got to add a little, take a little off, use that breaking ball on both sides of the plate. Started to use his straight changeup more about 2 weeks ago, right before the All-Star break. It's a pitch that he had used sparingly throughout the first half, but for opposing teams had gotten a look at him, opposing hitters had seen him a couple of times, and of course the video scouting that goes on, he started to incorporate that straight changeup.
Blake Parker on the DL. Careful.
Out.
And a 1-2. Arwen Barney. Oops.
Guess he didn't realize there was a roof on the dugout there.
Giovanni Soto saying, what did I do? 2 outs, nobody on. Aaron Hill. Slider strike. Nine hits combined. The Cubs got their runs in the first 2 innings. Nothing since from either team. That's deep, and it's going to go a home run for Aaron Hill. 3-1. Two-out homer for Hill. And Arizona within a couple.
Well, we talked about Hill in the first 2 games of this series. He was the hottest Diamondbacks hitter when we saw him out in the desert earlier this year. It's been a relatively quiet series until this solo homer into the bleachers and left.
Wide for ball 1 to Upton. Nationals shut out the Marlins 4-0. Steven Strasburg 6 scoreless frames. Mentioned he knocked in a run. Miami shut out for the 9th time already this year. De Jesus will get it to end the inning. Hill with a 2-out homer. It's 3-1 as we go to the bottom of the 8th.
Take you there. WGN News will be in Cooperstown beginning Wednesday, celebrating Santo. Sunday, July 22nd at 9:30. Man, are we looking forward to that.
J.J. Putz, the Diamondbacks closer, working the 8th with his team trailing by 2.
Fastball splitter combination from Putz. Will occasionally cut his fastball, but basically just a 2-pitch guy getting some work here out of the Diamondbacks pen.
De Jesus will be out on 1 pitch. Bob, we want to send out condolences to the family of former Chicago radio broadcaster Bob Greenberg, who passed away in Virginia earlier this week. Bob was blind, but did not hinder his ability to cover sports. Read a couple of nice articles honoring Bob earlier this week. I wanted to send out our thoughts and prayers to his family. One and 0 on Castro. Starlin had a 4-for-5 performance at Arizona on June 23rd. That got his average up to 308. But since then, he's just 10 for his last 60 and has had just one multi-hit game since. Trying to get back on track here at the dish. Hasn't hurt his defense. Had to sum up his season. I think his defense has improved, while his offense maybe has regressed a little bit. But to be honest with you, Bob, I think I'll take the exchange. I think for him to be an everyday shortstop and to be an above average player at that position in his career, he needed to make those adjustments, and he has defensively.
Much like I was talking about the catchers and how they work on days they don't start. Starlin Castro works hard on his defense every day.
Stephen Drew will get him. 2 down, and it'll bring up Rizzo.
I think even though the batting average has fallen a little bit for Starlin Castro, I think he's a more selective hitter now than he was certainly last season or at the beginning of this year. And I think because of that selectivity, ultimately the numbers will go back up. He'll start hitting some of those pitches that he's grounding right to defenders. It's frustrating for him right now to see his average sinking, but I think overall it's going to benefit him in the long run.
It'll be a quick 1-2-3 for puts. Fortunately for the Cubs, it was not in a save situation today. We'll go to the 9th. 3-1. Cubs will bring their corner infielders in. As the Diamondbacks are just trying to get a base runner, put that tying run at the plate. Slider missed, ball one. Rizzo backing up a couple of steps. Drew barely held his swing.
Yeah, this is a huge out, obviously, Len. Any leadoff batter in a 2-run ball game is going to be big, but the guys following Stephen Drew in this Diamondbacks lineup, Goldschmidt, Montero, Young, and even Gerardo Parra in that 8 spot, all very capable of going deep.
He lines out to Barney. Dale's going to ask for Marmol. Tries for the 2-out save here today. He'll be back. Double and then a walk. Got that great play from Reed Johnson in right, and then the 3-6-1 double play to end it. And the fastball misses to Goldschmidt. Montero on deck. 1 out. Cubs leading 3-1. He's trying to save it from Matt Garza. Slider strike 1 and 2. Couldn't bite that time. Three and 2. Payoff pitch on the way, and ball 4. Here's today's Budweiser player of the game, Matt Garza, the starter. 7 shutout innings on 5 hits.
Really good today, Len. We mentioned at the top of the show he needed to avoid the free passes. Only 1 walk in the ball game today, a 2-out walk to Aaron Hill back in the 3rd inning. He promptly struck out Justin Upton to end the inning. Good stuff today from Matt Garza.
Player of the game brought to you by Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. Montero with a base hit. Goldschmidt conservative here. He's going to stop at second.
Montero ambushing the first fastball he sees at 94 out over the plate, lined it into left center field. Goldschmidt, normally a very good, very aggressive base runner, but trailing by 2, content to just move up 90 feet.
Well, you have the same matchup we saw yesterday. 2 on, and Jeff Blum at the plate. He's going to hit for Chris Young. This is what happened in the game yesterday against Carlos Marmol. I know you talked to some people with the Diamondbacks. They all thought that ball was going to go.
Yeah, the guys in the dugout said from the sound of the bat they thought he got enough of it. The guys in the Diamondbacks bullpen thought as the ball got out into right field it was going to carry better than it did, but Reed Johnson able to snag it as he banged into the wall out there in right field.
So he's hitting for Chris Young. Tying runs on base here in the 9th. No action in the Cubs bullpen. Diamondbacks have a couple of guys up just in case they tie or take the lead. Josh Colmenter back in their bullpen, and David Hernandez, both righties. Struck him out, 2 down. Got him on a slider.
The whole key for Carlos Marmol is to get to 2 strikes before he gets to 3 balls. If he gets ahead in the count, it forces opposing hitters to protect against that slider. Blum comes up empty that time.
Here's Parra with 2 down. Marmol knocks it down, and the Cubs win. I hope he's all right. That ball was blasted right back to the mound, and the Cubs sweep. 3-1 the final. Darwin Barney is with us, 2-run homer today, but we'll start with the defense. You and Starlin are getting into a nice groove in terms of turning double plays.
Yeah, I mean, we're putting a lot of work in. Our early work is something we put emphasis on every day. So, we're getting better. We're getting better together, and, let's see what we can do.
You know, Darwin, I know you work hard every day on your defense, but it seems to us up here in the booth from watching, you make plays up the middle of the field to your backhand side look very routine. Do you feel more comfortable going up the middle of the field?
Yeah, it's just one of those things where last year was my first year playing second. I felt a lot more comfortable moving my left. Working on getting in front of the ball to my right, and if I have to backhand it, I will. So it's just one of those things where you put in that work and try and get more comfortable out there.
Home run today and gives Matt Garza a little breathing room. I know that's nice, and we didn't see any runs till very late in the game after that.
Yeah, he threw the ball really well. He commanded his stuff today. One little hiccup on the throw, but he's been really good of late, and if we get him a little bit of run support, he's going to be really good.
12 out of 16 feels pretty good, doesn't it?
It is. Maybe we can run off about 10 more and see where we're at. So it always feels good to win, and we're playing well at home, and that's big for us.
Darwin, thanks as always for the time. Nice going.
Thanks, guys.
That's Darwin Barney, 2-run homer today as the Cubs win 3-1. They've won 4 in a row. They sweep the Diamondbacks, and we'll have more from a happy Wrigley Field coming up.